If you are still showing up, still performing, still leading, while carrying this underneath, this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to show you why every approach you have tried hits the same ceiling. Then I'm going to show you the exact mechanism running underneath the pain-stress loop and why it survives everything you throw at it. And then I will give you a direct experience of what it feels like when the loop starts to loosen. Hi, I'm Rami Bareket, a hypnotherapist and an NLP master trainer. I spent 20 years as a combat medic, watching what sustained pressure does to the body from the outside. Then I spent 30 years building businesses, living it from the inside. What I found took me a long time to see, and it has nothing to do with your diagnosis, your age, or how long you have been dealing with this. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why pushing through keeps the loop running and what is actually driving it. You wake up before the alarm, before you check your phone, before you remember what's on your calendar. Your body is already running a check. Neck, back, shoulders, maybe the stomach. On good mornings, nothing registers and you move forward. On the other kind, and you know the other kind, there's something already there. A tightness, familiar, in a place it's been so long you've stopped noticing it as separate from you. And there's a thought, short, never said out loud. Please, not today. You don't cancel anything. You don't tell anyone. You show up and you perform because you always do. But here's what no one sees. You spend that entire day doing two jobs. The one on your calendar, the meetings, the decisions, the leadership, and the one running underneath all of it, the constant background check of whether your body is going to hold for the day you need to have. That second job has no title. Nobody assigned it. It doesn't show up on a performance review, but it costs you focus, energy, and the sharpest version of yourself. Every single day. So you've tried things, and the things you tried are reasonable. You tried stress management, breathing, meditation, a mindfulness practice. It helped in the moment. The next morning, the tightness was back before your feet touched the floor. And here is the cost of that. Every time it came back, it carried something extra. A quiet message that said, this is just how it is for you. The tool touched the output. The circuit kept running. And your confidence that something could actually change ran a little lower each time. You tried better recovery, more sleep, more exercise, weekends built to reset you. They did reset you until Monday. Then the loop picked up exactly where it left off. The cost of that one is subtler. You started organizing your life around managing the circuit rather than living beyond it. The weekends became maintenance, not freedom. Rest interrupts the circuit. It does not rewire it. And eventually you did what most high performers do. You got better at functioning through it. You built systems, carried it more efficiently, became very good at performing while the loop ran underneath. By every external measure, it worked. Nobody knew. But you knew the cost. The meeting that got 90% of you instead of everything. The decision made from a depleted system. The moment with someone you love where the loop was louder than they were. 3 reasonable approaches, 3 real costs, and the circuit still running underneath all of them. Not because you didn't try hard enough, because every single one was aimed at what the loop produces, not the mechanism generating all of it. You've been cleaning up after a leak without ever touching the pipe. What you've been calling a stress problem is actually a closed circuit in your nervous system, showing up in your body and in your performance. At the same time, every time. That circuit has a name. I call it the pain-stress loop. And when I say pain, I do not mean only physical pain. Emotional pain, mental pressure, the weight you carry that has no name, it all runs the same circuit. The trigger can be a body signal or a life signal. The loop does not care which one started it. It only knows how to keep going. Think about the last time you had a terrible night of sleep because you were anxious about not sleeping. The anxiety kept you awake. The longer you stayed awake, the more anxious you got about still being awake, which kept you awake even longer. The thing causing the problem was also being caused by the problem. That is the pain-stress loop. Stress creates physical tension in the body. Physical tension creates more stress. This circuit feeds itself round and round with no external fuel required once it's running. And here's why that matters. You cannot think your way out of it, rest your way out of it, or push your way through it. Because pushing through is not neutral. It is fuel. The circuit does not run in your conscious mind. It runs in your nervous system, below the level where most solutions reach. Here's the chain. A trigger arrives, a meeting that matters, a deadline, a conversation you've been putting off. Before you have a single conscious thought about it, your nervous system has already scanned it and labeled it potential threat. The activation starts. At the exact same moment, two things happen. In your body, muscles tighten, breathing gets shallower, and the body turns up the volume on physical sensation. Things that were background noise get louder. That tightness in your neck you carry every day, more present now. That familiar ache, there it is. In your thinking. The clearest, most strategic part of your mind steps back. Your system redirected its resources to manage the threat. You're still functioning, but not at full capacity, not with everything available. Both of these happen at the same time. Every single time a trigger lands. Now here's where the loop closes. That physical sensation, the neck, the chest, the stomach, becomes new information. Your brain picks it up and immediately starts reading it. What does this mean? Is it getting worse? What's it going to cost me today? That reading generates more activation, more tension, less capacity, more information. Stress creates physical sensation. Physical sensation creates more stress. The loop runs itself. This is what has been running underneath every demanding day, every moment when you needed everything you had and got what was left after the circuit was already running. Retrain this one circuit, and everything it's been producing changes with it. Not manage better, change. Here's where we stop explaining and start experiencing. This is the part most videos skip. Don't skip it. 4 minutes. Stay with it. The physical tension you carry every day isn't your body failing. It's the circuit sending a signal. The pain-stress loop turns up the volume on that signal because a system running a protection loop learns that. Louder gets more attention. When the circuit activates, your body becomes more sensitive to physical sensation. Not because something new has gone wrong, because the system decided this signal needed to be front and center. The tension is real. The loop is amplifying it. Those are two different things. Close your eyes for a second. Where in your body do you feel it right now? Not a general answer. A specific place. The neck, the chest, behind the eyes, the jaw, the stomach. It's already there. It was there before you clicked on this video. Put your attention there. Don't try to fix it. Don't try to relax it. Just look at it. The way you'd really look at something you've been walking past for years. Notice whether it shifts when you pay attention to it. Notice its quality. What you're feeling right now is the circuit, not a flow, a signal. Signals have sources, and sources can be changed. There is a belief most high performers carry, not chosen, usually formed early, that right now is the most powerful protection system the loop has. It sounds something like this. If I admit how much this costs, I'll lose something I can't afford to lose. People like me handle this. Needing help with this says something about who I am. Here's what that belief does mechanically. It takes the one thing that would actually change something, honestly seeing the loop, and makes it feel like weakness. So the loop runs, protected by the very drive and self-reliance that built your career. The belief isn't the problem, but right now it's working for the loop, not for you. Think of a moment in the last month when you knew the loop was running. A morning before something high stakes. A day that cost more than it should have. Ask yourself, what would it have meant about you to stop and say, even just privately, this is costing me something, and I want to understand it. Whatever just came up, that is the belief currently deciding how long this keeps running. I'm not asking you to change it right now. Just see it for what it is. A belief, not a fact, written by a version of you who's not in this room. The deepest layer of the pain-stress loop isn't physical. It's identity. There's a version of you built early, built under pressure, who decided that performing through this isn't just what you do, it's who you are. I am the person who handles it. I am the person who shows up no matter what. I don't let this stop me. Those aren't weaknesses. They are the architecture of someone who survived difficulty by becoming very good at it. That identity built real things. But here's what it also does. It makes the loop feel like character, like it's you, rather than a circuit that was wired into the system before you had any say in it. And you can't retrain something you believe is you. You can only keep performing through it, which is exactly what you've been doing. The same pattern that made you excellent at performing under pressure is the same pattern keeping the loop in place. That is not a flaw. That is the trap. Ask yourself one question. Don't force an answer. Just hold it. Who was the version of you who first decided this was the only safe way to operate? How old were they? What was happening? What did they need? And did they choose this loop? Or was it built for them? They didn't choose it. It was written by a nervous system, doing the only thing it knew how to do at the time. They didn't choose this pattern. They survived through it. There's a real difference between those two things. Here is what I want to leave you with from this video. The pain-stress loop is not a character flaw. It is not the price of ambition. It is not evidence that you are less resilient than the people around you who appear to be fine. It is a protection loop written by a nervous system that learned at some point in some context that staying switched on was the only safe option. That loop served you. It very likely helped build a significant amount of what you have built: the drive, the vigilance, the capacity to function under pressure. That is real. And it is not you. You are not the loop. The loop is something the system learned to run. And what the system learned, the system can relearn, not through more discipline applied to the same problem, but through working directly with the circuit at the level where it actually operates. When you retrain this, not manage it, retrain it, what becomes available is not a quieter version of the same performance. It is a different operating system, one where the meeting gets the version of you that was available, not the version that was left after the circuit ran all morning, one where the decision comes from a full system, not a depleted one where the person across from you at the end of the day get something real, not what was left after everything else took its share. One where the cost of doing excellent work is the work, not the invisible tax you have been paying alongside it every single day. If this video was worth your time, hit the like button. I go deeper on transformation and performance every week. Subscribe so you don't miss it. I also wrote the complete system as a book, Pain-Free Performance. It is available on Amazon. The link is in the description below. I will see you in the next one.